Hello guys, welcome back. I look really fucking pale. I don't know. I swear I didn't do anything. I didn't put any tanner or cream on. Anyhow, you all be relieved. You can all put down the affirmations. You can all stop practicing evil magic towards the old man. Um, I had agreed and I'd surrendered, and I was just like, this is what it is. There are gods that like totally fucking refuse to take no for an answer. But at the same time, it wasn't a happy, healthy relationship. We were trying very hard today, and we couldn't even begin to work on the relationship. We worked on this temple. It's fucking beautiful, unfortunately. It was Asmodeus' temple, but he took it over for the night, and it is beautiful. It has the starry sky, the dragons above. I think we'll leave it in night mode, but and Asmodeus even offered to share. Asmodeus said, do you really feel that bad and really feel that threatened? We can share. And, Odin's almost near tears because he is very ecstatic and he's very furious, and it's very much like Odin to want the one thing he can't have. He loves to challenge himself. And somehow along the way, our relationship just, I think, came to a natural end, and neither one of us would let go. And every time he's come back, it's gone worse, worse, and worse. I tried to use magic on him last night, which I don't recommend unless you want to die an early death, but he loves me and he didn't hurt me. And I really did not want to hurt him. It was more designed, it was like something I do to expulse anything I think is in the house or my territory. It was, which I usually don't have to do if all the gods are around, but it was like, okay, I told all the gods and demons, I said, batten down. They're like, why? I said, I'm just going to kind of like flush the system, as I call it, and I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And Odin's a god. It was like absolutely nothing hitting him. He didn't even blink. And the other gods wouldn't go out to fight him, so, I went out to challenge him, which again is dumb. And this is part of, trying to clean the system and everything. And then it gave me the dream because, we're stuck in this unhealthy loop together. And we weren't cursed. We weren't, someone didn't put a spell on Odin. Someone didn't put a spell on me. Odin tried to suggest Asmodeus is the demon of wrecking marriages, and this is all Asmodeus's fault. And I just hear in the background. And, you can develop unhealthy relationship with any god. I mean, there have been people who have unhealthy relationship with angels, saints, whatever. It's very easy to bring out the worst in a deity. It's very easy for you to bring out each other's unhealthy habits and prop each other up. The worst thing, if you've ever gone to AA, is to find a drinking buddy, because you will help each other through it, man. And you got each other, and you love each other, and you understand the world together until, what happens for most people that go to AA, something usually happens to the buddy. He either sobers up and goes to AA and tries to rescue the person. They get really pissy until they really hit the bottom. Or something happens to the buddy. They move away. Sometimes they die from alcohol poisoning. I've attended years and years and years and years and years and years and years worth of meetings. For various reasons, alcoholism runs in my family, and it takes getting out of the unhealthy relationship. The first thing you do in AA is obviously you stop going to the fucking bar, right? And that's kind of hard because we live in a society that, well, before COVID, was very bar and fun and excitement oriented. And if you're an adult, you'll crack a beer. What's wrong with you? Aren't you any fun? Are you judging everyone else? And people that have never had a trouble with alcohol won't believe it. They don't want to believe it. La 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 la. So you're really out on your own out there. And that's why they have places like AA, and they have places for, drugs and alcohol and everything else, because you need to be somewhere where other people have gone through it and they know what you're going through. I knew the moment that the wine fairy started drinking my wine, even though remarkably I can't get drunk off wine, I just get blinding headaches. I knew it was time to fucking stop, and I put it down. I've maybe had 2 or 3 other drinks in my life. I've drank some non-alcoholic wine because I thought I can't be all or nothing. I know that doesn't work for me. Just every day make it through without a drink. I'm like, good one. And I always have non-alcoholic drinks as an option. If the end of the world is coming and we know the zombie apocalypse is coming or the meteor is coming, fuck it. I'm opening every bottle of alcohol I have access to, having a party. I am, yay! Zombie apocalypse, come quick! So, but, Odin and I were bringing out the worst in each other. I was bringing out his need to own people and to have them exclusive to him, which we all can think of a couple famous heathens that, do that to an unhealthy degree. And he was bringing out my need to, even though I'm fiercely independent and wild, at the same time, I do want guidance. I want somebody to tell me what the hell is going on. So we were bringing out the worst in each other. And finally, today, I just got dropped down exhausted around 6 o'clock, actually. And I went up and I said, I'm tired. Let's go upstairs. Let's really, really talk about what's going on. So we really talked about it. Again, we're going to probably do this multiple times. And there's music on the radio because I always have the classical music on. And, there's of course, there's a lot of Wagner on a classical music station. But there was also something that came in and sounded like it was from Ireland because I was like, please just send us a sign. And I don't know if it was from Ireland or not, but, it was a thing of the other gods were like, well, you have to let her go. You have to let go of each other. You are hurting each other at this point. You don't mean to, but you are hurting each other by hanging on. It's kind of like silly example. Let me have some coffee before I cough. I have a tree outside. Lovely tree. Beautiful tree. You know what the problem is? That tree is that close to power lines. No, most people don't have the equipment, and it's where it is and how high it is, it would be impossible to get a picker in there. Tree has to go. And I don't want the tree to go. I fucking love trees more than druids do. I do. I want every tree everywhere to live forever, but that's just not possible. And I feel really, really bad about this. I want the hedges because I fucking love plants. I would live outdoors if I wasn't fucking allergic to everything on the planet. I love the plants. And I said to, I actually go out because I am a witch, and I'm talking to the plants today silently because the neighbors already think I'm crazy. I said, I'm so sorry, but you all have to go. They're going to come sometime this week. They didn't come Monday. They didn't come today because we're going through all these storms. I said, but they're going to come and they're going to cut you. And I said, I am sorry. I said, I love all of you, but you, honey, are going to rip the power lines off of my house. And you, dear, are, getting out into the traffic. And I can't just let them do whatever they want. These trees would love to grow right into the power lines and rip those fuckers down. They would love to do that. The hedges would love to go run out and play in traffic because fuck traffic, that's why. And I can giggling and cheering back here, but it's no good for them. It's no good for them. Eventually, the tree would maybe get snarled and get electrocuted. Eventually, the hedges would just get run over by something that would get caught in them and just rip them out and kill them. It's no good for them to let them have whatever they want. And Odin took it to heart because the Dagda was here, and he said, you're strangling her. He said, everything you love about her and everything she loves about these plants, about being wild and free, that's all well and good, but he said, once you're too wild and too free, they'll get out, and they do need trimmed back a little. You do need some guidelines, even in freedom. But he says you're putting a stranglehold on her, so you're like these plants growing everywhere and trying to have everything, and you're getting too greedy. And he says she's not enjoying it anymore. Let her go. And he says I should just rip the two of you apart, but he thinks it would be too painful because the other gods have finally decided to intercede. And he said you're going to spend less and less time together until you realize you can't just grab a hold of her like that. You can't just grab humans. And all the other gods are giving him God 101 lecture. Gods know not to do this. They just get out of control with some people. And the other gods went to attack him last night. Had nothing to do with bravery, even though I was yelling at them and calling them sissies and everything else. They know he's family. And he is family to them. They love him as family, at least with all of us being together. But, so they didn't want to attack him. They didn't want to hurt him. Also, it's kind of like you become den mom to your gods, and it's like, Mom's watching. We can't hurt him now. Wait till mom goes away. Wait till mom's in bed. And wait until mom's not paying attention, then they'll do something, right? Like your siblings wait until their parents went out or something like that. Yeah. So they really didn't want to hurt him though. They don't want to hurt him. Odin's one that likes to make fights and start trauma. They all like to fuss and fight. And ideally, yes, all gods would like to kind of pull you away to team whatever. They're all gonna want to do that forever because of course they love their particular part of the. I see it as a giant god family tree that they're with the most. Of course they do. It's like you come from a huge family, but you probably love your immediate family the best, hopefully. But, you still have a far bigger family that's still your blood. You just kind of don't always acknowledge them except at family gatherings, right? It's the same thing for the gods. I think what makes the most sense to me is that they're all part of the same family, or at least the same, for lack of a better word, species. It's just they all think their family's the shit, and everybody else can go away. Look, he's like, stop using old jargon. You're going to confuse young people. It used to mean a good thing. Anyhow, he's like, yep. And Odin just has to let go. The Norse gods just have to let go. Asmodeus is amused. Asmodeus says, and they call me a homewrecker. His little tail starts to go. He's not even mad. Odin will use magic. Odin will get grass being crazy. And Odin was putting on quite the fucking floor show. I don't know if the other Norse gods will ever forgive him, but when he's going down, he doesn't go down easy. He's going to shut up, Loki. He's gonna drag everybody. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! What's wrong with you? I got everything. He's gonna drag everybody else with him. If Odin ever does die, it won't just be Odin fighting Fenrir. It will be Odin dragging every other fucking god on the battlefield with him because reasons. And he's like, ah. And that's it. We will have arguments. Odin and I have been having arguments about how heathenry is bullshit, and he goes, tell me why. I said, you're gonna have these pussy ass swords, and we have fucking weapons of space, man. Good luck with your tinker toys. How dare you? And we're fighting over weaponry. I'm like, why the fuck would you have a ship when you can fucking have lasers from space, and you can have drones, and you can have an air force? Fuck you and your weapons on the ground. Why don't you get fucking nuclear armaments, huh? You some kind of wuss? They too big and advanced for your little mind? So we actually have fucking fights about why the fuck it's not going to be a nuclear winter for the gods. And Lucky's back here like, Jesus Christ, he's crazy already. Don't give him ideas. So, but it was one of those fights because the tension of the unhealthy relationship was coming to a head. And I'm like, I'm just calling fucking bullshit, man. You with your Tinker Toy weapons, and we have fucking lasers in space now. I don't got time for your bullshit. I'm going off and fight in the war where they have modern weaponry. And the thing is, guys, let's say we recast them and they have modern weaponry. 1,000 years from now, it'll be Tinker Toy bullshit again, and people will be, you with your primitive lasers and nuclear bombs. Are you wusses or something? Can't you handle real weaponry? So, it's the kind of fights we have. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyhow, it's okay. Everybody's back in. La Santa's been looking at him, and Nori's been looking at him. They won't hurt him because he's mine. And I'm his, but he gets masterful. He's a pain in the ass. He's fucking little shit sometimes. Just like Loki. The thing is, he's a god. He can turn it up to a million, 1,000, whatever. And he can do stuff like that dream that he did this morning and scare the fucking shit out of me. And of course I walk the line because I'm a human. He scared the fucking piss out of me. But once that wears off, and the natural foxy spunkiness comes back, and as Asmodeus would say, the demon blood rises up. I'm like, no, fuck that noise. Okay, you want me to die? I'm gonna die. Come fight me. So Oh, we've been having arguments. It's actually kind of cute and funny looking back at it. I was roaring at him last night that if he wanted a war, he found it. And Asmodeus like, Jesus Christ, girl, calm down. And he's literally known as the demon of the bloody sword and the demon of like the bloody mace and bloody spear. He's like, you're fucking over the edge. And Satan's in the back like, yeah, calm down. You need to chill out. You're angry. You know that? You're a very angry person. That's not healthy for you. So yeah, but we're okay. Odin is just a fucking handful. I did cut somebody off the channel though, because one thing I'm gonna say, there have been people that have gone up against him and not got the better of it. All gods can harm people. It's usually a very rare thing, but Odin will be the last motherfucker I fight with unless he's pissing me off or hurting the family or taking away my freedom. Pick and choose your battles with the gods, guys. They can get mean to you. They can get nasty. They can get very ferocious. I used to work with the Voodoo on Loa, and Papa Legba and I would go at it. It was fucking crazy how for a period of time there was a particular set of stairs I fell down like 3 times till I got my fucking act in order and learned some discipline. But I was hobbling around with a cane and all this shit, and it was like, oh, we look just alike now. And I wasn't giving a shit about his appearance or anything. You just know how fucking willful I am. I'm not made for voodoo, obviously. So they can throw you around a little bit, and Odin can definitely throw people around. He goes for the eyes. It's not always honorable. And with some people, they get that fucking cuddly grandpa, but I don't. So now I don't know if the god of my dreams was Asmodeus, Mars, whomever. I just know that Odin and I fight a hell of a lot, and everybody else is like, you two need to calm down. What's the matter with so we're fine, but I wanted to let you guys know we're fine. Odin just wants what Odin wants, and the Norse gods, of course, are going to run in, and if he's going to set up the human buffet, so to speak, they're all going to run in and take advantage. I don't blame them. They're not being bad. They're not being evil. They're just taking advantage. It's the same thing. Like if you get one demon, all of them are in your house. It's the same exact thing. You work with one angel, they all show up. They'll take advantage. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Jesus, I went on for over 17 minutes, and I will see you. What the fuck did I even say? I don't know. To watch it and learn with you. I will see you guys later. Bye bye.